Hey guys, it's Amanda. So, after my most recent post, I decided that I wanted to kind of react to how I was feeling because I watched that video and I saw how down I was. I didn't realize until I actually watched it, and I watched it a couple times. I'm like, wow, this isn't good. So I decided to make this video to kind of lift my spirits, and maybe to help somebody else out there. So I made one video about this, and I think it was last summer. I don't remember. I don't exactly remember the title of it, but I'll post the link anyway. But basically, with my NAMI group, there's 12 principles of support. I already made a video of the first principle. Now I'd like to make a video of the second principle and just give my take on that principle, what it means to me. So the second one is, we recognize that mental illnesses are medical illnesses that may have environmental triggers. This, for me, this rings true to me. Oops. Because I believe that any mental disorder is just like any other disorder or illness that can happen in the body. The only difference about most of them is that this one occurs in your brain. Now the thing is that you can have other things occur in your brain, such as a brain tumor, but it's still considered a physical illness, but it happens in your brain. Interesting, huh? So for me, I think that separating things that happen in your brain from things that happen from your neck down is kind of silly, because to me, anything that happens in your brain is the same as whatever happens to your heart, your lungs, and that kind of thing, because it's happening to a major organ in your body. It's your brain, and I think doctors separate this from the rest, and I think that's just silly. I don't think that's very helpful for people who do suffer from mental disorders. I do think it should be considered a medical illness, not necessarily physical in terms of like, oh, you break your leg or you get stuff all over your body or that kind of thing, but it's just like if you had a malfunction in your heart, then you would go to the doctor or the hospital and they would give you something for it, and it would either work or it wouldn't, which is kind of like taking meds. They either work or they don't, and they can have side effects just like any other medication. And I'm hot. Sorry. So I think on that level, I really think we need to get away from thinking that the brain is separate than the rest of the body. I know it's in your head and it's kind of farther away from a lot of your other organs, but it's still a major organ, and I think it should be taken more seriously, So that's what I think about that. I really think that your brain is a major organ, just like your heart, your lungs, and everything else. So a mental disorder is basically a disruption in how that organ is functioning, just like any other organ. So, and the other part, that these illnesses or disorders may be caused by environmental triggers, I think that my last video kind of proved that. Just my environment, sorry, my nose itches. The person I was around, I am around, although it's not her fault and she has medical illnesses too, it was affecting me. My environment has been affecting me, And not just my mother, but, you know, in past videos I've talked about stuff that's gone on in the building, and, you know, that has an impact too. It really does. And it's like a ricochet effect, or a ripple effect, rather. You know, one person just throws a rock, and all the people in the surrounding area are affected. And if you have a mental illness, or a physical illness, or whatever you want to call it, if you have a medical illness, brain, heart, lungs, or otherwise, it will affect you. It will. So I really think your environment, especially if you go out in public, to the store, to the doctors, to the bank, work, school, wherever, even just driving, you know, being around people, crazy drivers out there, and y'all know who you are, you know, that can have a major effect on, you know, your moods, you know, pertaining to bipolar, and other disorders. So I really think that there's a big stigma in terms of what is considered a medical illness and what is considered a mental illness and that whole thing, you know, and I do think environment definitely has a big effect. I really do. That's why they tell you to surround yourself with positive people, like in recovery. You know, if all your friends are drug addicts and they do coke and this and that and they drink and that's all they do, they don't really work or whatever, I mean, they have all this negative stuff going on. If you're trying to recover, you probably shouldn't hang out with those people, you know. Do something else, like go someplace where you know people aren't going to be doing those things. It's going to be a big change, definitely, but surrounding yourself with positivity, it's always a good thing. Always a good thing. So just remember that your environment is very big, and that includes where you are and the people surrounding you. So, alright, well, that's my 2 cents. I hope this was helpful for somebody, you know, and of course this is just my take. This is just my perspective on this particular principle. And like I said, I don't know if I said it, I don't know, but I'm going to go through all the principles and make a video about it and just kind of share my perspective. And that way I can kind of stay closer to NAMI since I haven't been going. But anyway, I'm going to let y'all go, and I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.